Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Theorist and welcome back to another episode of the Retro Club, where we discuss something that's kind of nostalgic to a group of people, and we discuss the plot of the show episodically, and then talk about how we feel about it, and then any Easter egg references and a rating, anything that has turned up in the episode that's quite cool. So, let's begin with Episode 3 of Season 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, called School's Hard. Let's begin. Alright, so first the plot. The plot of this episode starts off in one of two locations that always opens up Buffy the Vampire Slayer, in the earlier seasons anyway, which is either Sunnydale High or usually the graveyard. And we start off at Sunnydale High, where Buffy and another student have both been ridiculed by the new headmaster, or principal in America, Principal Snyder, and he is basically telling them both, you are the worst students here, and one of you has attacked a teacher, and the other one of you has burnt down your previous school. In Buffy's defense, she's like, that was never proven. It could be rats, or smoking. Alright, Buffy. And they're both told that their truancy levels are ridiculous, and unless they get their act together and help on parent-teacher night, which I'm assuming is kind of like a parents' evening that America does, then they will be expelled. So Buffy then agrees, okay, this is what we've got to do then, and that is kind of Buffy's school motivation throughout this episode. Once that is over, she talks to Willow and Xander. And Xander has to say during the conversation, well, you can focus on that, because what's the worst that could happen? And Willow and Buffy both like, why did you say that? Why did you say that? And then we cut across to the worst that could happen, which is the introduction to my second favourite vampire in the whole of the Buffyverse. I won't say his name yet, you learn a little bit later. And he rolls into Sunnydale, destroying the Welcome to Sunnydale sign, steps out of his car with his vamp face, a cigarette, lighting his cigarette, puffs it out saying, home sweet home. And then we get the awesome Buffy intro. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. As if you've seen Buffy, you know, and it's amazing and it's fantastic. And yeah, most of this episode, to begin with, you have two plot threads. You have Buffy trying to get things ready for parent-teacher night, while at the same time you have a lot of focusing on the new vampire called Spike. We find out his name is Spike when he introduces himself to the Anointed One, who is still bimbling around with a group of vampires. And one of the Anointed One's generals is like, the night is sacrilegious. I will kill the Slayer. It will be like the crucifixion. Spike steps in going, every vampire said who was at the crucifixion actually was, it would be like Woodstock. I should know. How was that Woodstock? I fed off a hippie and I spent the next 5 days watching my hungry. Oh yeah, and Spike's a British vampire. He's actually played by an American actress called Jane Masters, and to be fair, him and Giles both sound... No, Giles actually is British, but Spike actually does do a fairly good British accent. It's quite good. So yeah, as he's introducing himself to the Anointed One and then goes, I'll kill the Slayer. And he's like, can you do it? Yeah, I've killed 2 others. Now the Slayer. Is she tough? And then we cut over, and now we've got Buffy at home, who is brushing through her hair. And just as the scene cuts through with Spike saying, is she tough? Brushing her hair, she goes, ow. Irony. And we find out that Buffy's mum has got a letter saying the parent-teacher night, and Buffy's like, oh, I was gonna tell you, but I didn't. Sorry. So she's preparing to go out to the Bronze, and she's gone to the Bronze, where she is trying to multitask. She's trying to have fun at the Bronze. She's trying to learn French, in which she says a funny line we'll get to when we discuss part of the episode and little fun bits. And Xander's like, come on guys, let's stop studying and let's go dance. And as they go to dance, you've got Spike lurking around. And he walks up to a random person at the bronze and says, go get something to eat. The vampire growls, walks away. He walks over to Buffy nonchalantly and just says very out loud, somebody, I need a phone. There's some crazy guy outside trying to bite someone. Buffy instantly knows what this is, races outside to go take on the vampire. She then fights the vampire, and as she stakes him, he's like, Spike! And she turns around, and Spike steps out of the shadows and starts clapping. And Buffy's like, who are you? You'll find out on Saturday. What happens on Saturday? I can kill you. Giles and Miss Calendar have also found out that what Saturday means, and it is that it is the night of St. Vitus. As Buffy has walked away, she's obviously going to go find this out from Giles and also discuss who Spike is. We also get to see the other girl who is meant to be helping Buffy through parent-teacher night, and she's with these two random people. And Buffy and Spike shows that he is not only a super vampire, he's a super fast vampire, because she's talking to the guys and she's like, hope you guys have a Cadillac. I got man cats. And she turns around, one's gone, she's like, where'd you go? Turns her away. Come on guys, this ain't funny. They've both gone. And Spike turns up, she's like, have you seen those two guys that were good enough for you? They're napping. Why don't you come with me? I'll show you a good time. Obviously he's gonna go eat her. And the camera pans down, and the two guys are in front of where she just was, off to the side. So Spike manages to take out one, take out the other, hide them behind her when she's turned round, and then walk her in the opposite direction. And bearing in mind, there's no sound being made here. No sound at all. So, that's happened. And Buffy has gone off to discover the information about who Spike is, and also the night of St. Vitus. While we also find out Spike has gone back home and taken the woman to feed his girlfriend, who is Drusilla, who we also saw at the beginning of the episode, when he was talking to the Anointed One, and she seems to have possibly some sort of precognition. She's clearly nuts though, because she talks to her dolls and she likes to blindfold them and tell them you're not allowed to watch her feed. Yeah, Drusilla's crazy. We'll discuss her a bit later down the line when she's in some later episodes. Spike's telling her, Drew, you need to eat something, you're weak, the Hellmouth's power will heal you, explaining why they're there, but you need to eat something. And she's like, no, I don't want it. You need to go be nice with the rest of the people that we're staying with, the Anointed One and all of them. And he's like, no, I don't want it. Actually, I'll go do chanty with them. You eat something. So he goes off there, she does that. And that's the end of their scene. It then comes to parent-teacher night, and Buffy has nicely prepared everything. They are now in the library, and because the night of St. Vitus is coming up, they've all decided they're going to prep for it. So everyone's making stakes. Buffy's there, Willow's there with a crossbow, and Giles is like, down there. Me, Cordelia, and Xander are actually making stakes, and there's Buffy with the machete. And she pushes it down, and she's actually chopping up vegetables. Everyone else is doing Slayer stuff, and she's chopping up vegetables for the parent-teacher night. And she's like, right, so I've got the salad, I've got the banners, what else do I need? And Willow's like, punch. Punch? Yeah, punch! So that's what goes happen. She then makes punch, and Willow's like, ooh, what did you make? Lemon. How much sugar? She's like, sugar? Yeah. And then Buffy Summer, I can't remember Buffy's mum's name. Miss Summers. Can't remember her name. Wow, her name's escaped me. It's Ned at parent-teacher night, and she turns around and goes, right, all I gotta do is make sure Snyder and my mum never talk throughout this night. So you have a few, like, she told Buffy to go that way, like, she gets Willow to go with Buffy that way and that way. So he's like, is that your mum? He's like, yeah, but she doesn't, a word of English. And that's kind of what Buffy's trying to do there. But instead of parent-teacher night going exactly as Buffy wanted, unfortunately, Spike turns up. And bearing in mind, they said that parent-teacher night was on Thursday, and the night of Invidious was meant to be on the Saturday. Not a continuity error though. He smashes through and he's like, what can I say? Couldn't wait. And the rest of the episode is basically Spike trying to hunt down Buffy's friends and eventually fight with Buffy. And Buffy slowly starts killing all of Spike's entourage, trying to sneak her family members out. Her mum's like, I'm not leaving you because these people are crazy. She's like, Mum, I know what I'm doing, get out. So she fights Spike, and Spike almost bests her. They start off with weapons. She's got an axe, and he's got a massive metal pole. And she's like, do you really need weapons? He's like, I like them. They make me feel. Starts swinging it. She throws down the axe, throws away the pole, and they start scrapping. She does fairly well. She does do fairly well, but he manages to best her. Gets her to the floor. He punches through a wall and pulls out the wall a big beam of wood and smacks her over the head, and he's about to crush her skull. But then, bonk, he gets hit from behind with Buffy's mum. And he's like, get the hell away from my daughter. And Spike looking up like, women. Races off. And that's kind of Spike being bested in the episode. Buffy's mum then goes, I talked to Snyder, told me you're doing kind of shit at school. Yeah, he's like, but you handled yourself really well, and you get into fights, but clearly it's to help people. I'm proud of you. She's like, oh, how long will this like? This proudness. Probably about a week and a half. And that's the end of Buffy's scene. And the episode actually ends with Spike, not Buffy this time. Which is quite cool. Spike has gone back to the Anointed One, and he's like, I'm so sorry for what I've done. I had the chance. I would, and just before he finishes, one of the Anointed One's vampires goes, you should die, you should lay down your life. Our numbers are depleted. The night is Invidious is ruined. He's like, if I had the chance, I would do it all over again, except I would do things exactly the same, bar this. Grabs the Anointed One, knocks all the other vampires out of the way, throws the Anointed One into a cage, and he says, we're going to have a little less ceremony, grab the chain, and a little more fun. Pulls down the chain, the cage rises up, where a stream of sunlight is coming into the warehouse they're all hiding in, and the Anointed One is dead. Spike just killed one of the plot points of season 1, and totally ended the plot that goes nowhere of the Anointed One. And that's how Spike establishes himself as the new dominant vampire. He's like, yep. And that's how the episode ends. And that is a brief summary of the plot of Season 2, Episode 3, School is Hard. Now we'll discuss in more detail things I really like about the episode in a segment called Discuss. Alright, so what do I like about this episode? About 99% of it. I think it was awesome. As I say, Spike is my second favourite vampire in the entirety of the Buffyverse, and probably my third favourite character in the entire show itself. Angel, Buffy, Spike are my three favourites. The rest of the characters, depending on where in the arc they are, they can interchange. These are my main three. At the moment, Spike isn't one of my favourites. He's a pretty cool, badass character, but he's in it for a while. I'm not going to say anything more than that. He's in it for a while, and it's good. And he is one of the epitome of what Whedon likes to do with his villains. Yeah. And, yeah. As I say, they are my favourites because these three characters have big character arcs, and I'm slight spoilering, I don't want to go too far as I go with them. So yeah, this episode 3, which usually in a TV show, by the time you get to episode 3 of a second season, usually getting into very filler territory. But you could say this episode is filler, but it establishes the season villain, which is Spike and Drusilla, and establishes them well. They get rid of the old, basically disregard everything that the Master tried to do, set up the Naughty One, have the vampires kind of gain more power and stuff. Basically show that just being a psychotic vampire helps sometimes. And yeah, he becomes a major threat to Buffy. As I say, like, it's just well established he has killed 2 Slayers. That Giles said that, yeah, like, his Spike's other name is William the Bloody because he likes to impale people with railroad spikes, which that's not really why he's called William the Bloody. We'll get to that later down the line. Yeah, like he also says that Angel is his sire when he sees Angel in this episode, which establishes the whole idea of sires. They don't say what a sire is. I think a bit further down they then explain what sires are. But I'm going to say it here: sires. If you know your vampire mythology and stuff, sires are a vampire who has turned another person into a vampire. And yeah, it's established that Angel made Spike. Kinda. Again, later down the line. There's a lot of stuff this sets up which kind of gets contradicted further down the line. But you could say it's more of a... Yeah, they meant that, but it's kind of not what they meant. Yeah. Anyway, I need to discuss this episode specifically. Right. What didn't I like about this episode? Nothing. I think this is a perfect example of Whedon at his best when it comes to Buffy. Because obviously it's a show that has to establish Buffy as a high school student, and does that and gives her a dilemma of being in high school, which is you're going to get expelled unless you start doing something good for the school. Which she does. She manages it quite well until Spike comes to parent-teacher night. She actually does really well. She actually manages to get some praise from her mum, which is good. And she also shows off she's a really good slayer as well. When it comes down to it, and it's only her that is able to take down vampires, she shows she can do it. Because when the parent-teacher night part happens, everyone scrambles in different directions. You've got Giles and Xander going to the library. Cordelia and Willow hide in a locker, in a broom closet. And Miss Summers, Principal Snyder, and a bunch of the teachers hide in a classroom. Buffy then initially hides with her mum, but then used the vent system to sneak around the school. And she takes out all of Spike's entourage, barring, I think there's only about 2 that she doesn't kill, and Spike. And it does show there's a whole bunch of them. So yeah, it's a good show of Buffy kicks ass really well. Buffy really does. Spike, well established, shows he's really cool. Almost best Buffy, which you could argue that he is meant to, because whenever a main villain turns up, you have to show that the main villain is super badass. Really super badass. Because later down the line, when Buffy defeats them, or our main hero defeats the main villain, it shows that they've grown as a character. But they well established Spike as the new scary vampire on the scene. And for him to kill the Naughty One, who's meant to be like the Master's right hand man, and everyone bows and goes to the Naughty One, and they go to the promotion and blah blah blah. To just kill him outright, it's like, alright then, yep, Spike's awesome. Spike's awesome. Yeah. Drusilla, she doesn't do a lot. Kind of period. She doesn't do a lot, period. She does a bit later down the line in season 2. But overall, not really. At this point, she is just broken, crazy Drusilla. She talks about how the Anointed One is shiny, and his voices, the stars align. She talks to her dolls, blindfolds them when they've been bad. She's just plain crazy. But they're a good duo for the villain. What else? I don't want to have it as a 5-second discussion on the episode going, this is an awesome episode. Like, season 2 has a lot of awesome episodes in it. I want to try and discuss the main points. Okay, so some negative things is, because this is mainly a Buffy and Spike episode, all of Buffy's friends kind of get sidelined. Giles and Miss Calendar get like one little bit where they're like, oh, there's this thing with research called the Night St. Vigus, and it's where there's a massacre that vampires cause, and it means that on this specific night vampires can gain super strength or something. You never really find out because I never actually do the Night St. Vigus. So it's like, okay, but that's kind of like Giles gets his one area of expertise and then discusses vaguely Spike for a second, and then Angel turns up to kind of end that, and it's like, oh yes, it's scary. And Angel as well. Angel, my favourite character, gets seriously sidetracked. He's in it twice. He turns up randomly in the library, and the other time Xander sneaks out of school to go and get help from Angel, and Angel basically pretends to offer Xander as a meal to Spike. Spike realises he's lying, he punches Angel in the face. Angel has his laugh face on and kind of backs away after saying, yeah, I'm different now. It's like, we're demons, we don't change. And that's all Angel does. It's kind of disappointing. Willow gets to cut a few witty lines, just like Xander does, but for the most part they're not really in it. Cordelia, even though we're trying to establish Cordelia as potentially another Scooby Gang member, she's in it twice. Once where she's prepping steaks for like 2 seconds, and then when she's praying with Willow in the broom closet, trying to make sure they don't die, and that's it. So yeah, if there's any negatives that you take this episode, it's the Scooby Gang gets seriously sidelined in the episode. But you don't really feel it. The only reason you can notice that is if you're trying to look for something negative to talk about. Because Spike and Buffy just do so amazingly you don't even think about it. So yeah, that's what I think of the episode, guys. And now we'll discuss cool little snippets, any Easter eggs I found to do with other TV shows or movies, and then... Alright then, so this is the part I'm calling extras and a rating. Let's dive in with my flimsy notebook that I just write random stuff in, and I will pick out things that are fun. Okay then, what can we start with? As I discussed earlier, Xander does the whole jinxing thing, and they basically like, why did you say that? Why did you jinx it? And it's like, they kind of forewarning it, because in a TV show that always happens. It's quite cool. And in the same scene, and they're discussing the other girl, the subplot character, I can't even remember her name, she's there to become a vampire and you see her in the episode as a vampire. She runs away after after Buffy beats. 1 second. Good colour. Not sponsored. That's better. Oh, I'm really sorry. I've not been up long. We're clear. Alright, yeah. So, in the same episode, in the same scene where they're discussing Xander jinxing, they talk about the other girl, and Willow's like, yeah, when we were in it's in 4th grade or something, it's like, I was lookout for her when she went around to smoke. And I'm like, Willow, you rebel! And it's like, yeah, it just goes to show you that before Buffy was around, Willow really just wanted to fit in. Sweet. Willow, we'll take you home. Only you. These all tender loves. Yeah. Anyway. Well, yeah, I think the next funny thing is when Spike and Drusilla are both talking to the Anointed One. Spike obviously there first, and then Drusilla comes onto the scene. And she's like, Spike, I'm vampire. You're meant to be cold. That's the point. Just goes to show you how nuts she is. She doesn't even realise she's just like, spicy cold. And it's nice though. Something I should have discussed in the discussion part, but Spike has like these two personalities. Not as a split personality thing. He has these two traits that he shows off. Jane Masters does really well, which is when he is like scary vampire Spike. He has his vamp face on. He's talking about how he kills slayers and he can't wait to kill Buffy. But then when Zero comes in, Spike the Cold, he comes back to his normal human face. He takes the jacket off and puts it around her, and he talks to her really smooth, like sweetly and softly. And it goes to show you that, yeah, as much as he's this really scary vampire, when it comes to Drew, he will do anything for, definitely comes into play further down in season 2. What else do we have? What else do we have? I have loads of random notes and it's... We'll say that in a little bit. I think there's two other things that we can discuss. One is Buffy's... One of the best duo lines between Buffy and Willow in the episode is when they're at the Bronze and Buffy's discussing French and she's... I can't even remember what she said exactly in French. She's like, whatever it is she says, I randomly say something random in French. She looks at Willow, she's like, did I say it wrong? She's like, no, if you were meant to say, the cow touched me on Thursdays. What? Yeah. Buffy doesn't know French at all. And I'm glad they kind of dropped that whole like Buffy kind of learn French language. Just randomly silly. And the final bit is we have a bit more to do with what I discussed in another episode about this other shady organisation. If you remember in season 1, if you're following the series, I recommend you do. This is the first episode you watched. In the episode Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the Invisible Girl gets kidnapped by these two men in black and she opens a book and they're kind of discussing like the secret assassins kind of thing. And it hints at the idea that there's this part of the government that kind of knows about the supernatural. Now in this episode, when Buffy's mum and the teachers are like, oh my god, what there's something wrong with her face, and Snyder snaps instantly going, it's PCP, it's gangs on PCP. And it's like, wow, he's convinced. And then you find out at the end of the episode, when he's talking to the police, that actually they say, what should we tell the press? And Snyder's like, usual, okay, PCP. Which gives you a hint that maybe it's not just the government, a secret shaded part of the government, but also Sunnydale High's bigger figures themselves. They seem to, not just Sunnydale High, but Sunnydale, they seem to know about the supernatural and hide it from the general public. That's why the general public doesn't like thrive off the supernatural in a way of, hey, let's celebrate vampires exist, or werewolves, everyone should be scared of demons, because it's actually hidden away from the general public by the police and the principal and who knows who else in Sunnydale. Which also hints at the idea of that's probably how they manage to create something that happened in that you discover in season 4. Again, I don't want to, because it's good at set. Buffy is very good. This is something I'm noticing rewatching. Is they do set up a lot of things that you could say, well, that could be connected to what they've done further down the line. Might not meant to, but it does feel that way. Yeah, that's cool little things that are in it. And the reference of the day, it's a Star Wars reference, because I'm a massive Star Wars fan. And yeah, it's when Spike and Angel are arguing. Spike's like, you're my sire, man! You're my Yoda! Ha! Star Wars. Yeah, awesome. That's the Easter egg of the episode. Again, there's no commentary, so I can't discuss things that we have simply said. So I might start looking into if there's any videos online where we can talk about a specific episode. I don't think he does. Hoping later down the line in the later seasons that I have got commentary and I can bring you some of Whedon's specific thoughts on these episodes. Probably not this season. unless they've randomly sprinkled his commentaries in between episodes here and there. Maybe. There's a few episodes I think I'm hoping there's commentary for, because there's some really good ones for season 2. Yeah. Anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. As I say, it introduces my third favourite character in the whole of Buffyverse. If you have, hit that like button. Leave a comment. If you're a massive Buffy fan, tell me what your favourite episode of Buffy is. I want to know. I really do want to know. When I say I want to discuss nostalgia, because there's a group of people that really like Buffy, I'm in one of those groups. I grew up with this, I still watch it till today, and that's why I'm doing this video 6. I love it to bits. If you haven't already guys, please subscribe to this channel, and if you have subscribed, bring a friend over and have them subscribe too. Until next video guys, I will catch you all later. Bye!